Okay, y'all, we bet real quick on the second half Young Thug YSL Rico trial. They won 50. This Shannon who's sitting in court. This is the Instagram hashtag that Miss Hilton spoke on, and she wasn't supposed to speak on it. She didn't speak on it, she let the boy read it. But when he said free Quay, he wasn't supposed to say that. I don't see free Quay on him. But let's listen. Your Honor. It's in this paper. Your Honor. Got me reading. Your Honor, I have to make a motion. All right, okay. I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at this paper. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Can I ask you to step outside for just a minute? Yeah. Sure. All right. What is on that screen? Is there you go. There go the screen right there. You weren't supposed to say that no way. This when she got in trouble, y'all. So he had to leave out. Judge gonna call her out her name. She gonna call her name. She gonna be sarcastic to her, tell her that she's sloppy. She did a sloppy job just then. Your Honor, we're making a motion for mistrial on behalf of Mr. Nichols. We're not going to be able to unring this bell. Your Honor, this is the exact same issue that while we were at the bench, I brought it up. It was Exhibit 37NN that there was a hashtag on that exhibit that said free Quay, which would definitely indicate to the jury that Quay, has spent time in jail or in prison. The state agreed, stipulated that they would redact it, and then the state presented, I guess, to the witness the unredacted version, didn't prep him to not comment on it, and he did. And Your Honor, before we had the opportunity for you to preside over us, this happened already again. And I made a motion for mistrial. Now it's happened again. So now the jury has repeatedly heard about Mr. Nichols being in jail, being in prison, and you cannot unring that bell. We would ask for a mistrial.
Your Honor, Sergeant Matthews or Mr. Marquis, we join in that motion for mistrial. And what's important for this court to know is that 45 minutes ago, there had been a reference to a person.
Excuse me, y'all.
Now, this witness has identified Marquavius Huey and has also identified Marquavius Nichols.
Yeah.
So all the state had to do was ask this honorable court for an opportunity to have this witness maybe step out of the courtroom and go over with that witness that, we don't need to say anything about someone in jail, what have you.
Intentionally.
Before he went on the stand, nor after that first slip up by this witness. There may have even been a document right there on the witness stand that should have been pulled from the state of Georgia from that witness stand so that this could have been avoided. So, Your Honor, we are joining in that motion as well.
Oh, hang on. It's all right. You just didn't know, but we'll let you know when to come back in, okay?
So we join in that motion, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and I just want to briefly add that it is painfully obvious that the state is not prepping their witnesses. You can tell by the way when the witness spoke the first time and he said, oops, am I not supposed to say that? Like, oh, I had no idea, which makes it obvious that the state had not spoke to him, had not prepped them, and this has happened repeatedly. It's happening over and over again, Your Honor, and we're just not going to be able to unring 100 bells.
And finally, Your Honor, Mr. Marquavius Huey, it's been established that.
Why the judge get an attitude, y'all?
Okay, isn't there going to be, we talked today about, isn't there going to be a stipulation that references to Quay, at least at some points, are not either Mr. Nichols or Mr. Huey? We did.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's a few things. not intentional because we clearly.
Okay, but it was sloppy because I presume he's reading from the document that you handed him instead of reading from the screen.
And we should have instructed him to read from the screen, but.
Or you should have presented him with a document that had that.
Thank you.
It's just sloppy.
The issue came while he was on the stand, Your Honor. So the issue did not come prior to Ms. Westmoreland.
She always got an excuse.
While he was on the stand and said, "I'm going to have an issue with that. Can you redact it?" That is when the state became aware.
Then it should have occurred to you. You know what? I'm handing him a hard copy of this document that is unredacted.
But not if there's multiple quays, Your Honor. I
You-
don't know which quay that.
Hang on. Can we stop having people come in and out when I've asked the witness to step out and every time the door opens they can hear what we're talking about? Please, just for a few seconds.
Hilton always got an excuse.
I'm not asking anybody who's in here to leave. Huh?
Hilton knew what she was doing because she gave him the hard copy. He's supposed to read off the hard copy. Man, I'm so sick of this.
So that is the point in which we learned of it is we redacted it on here. Ms. Westmoreland brought it up here.
Yeah,
And when I came
didn't
back,
read that. I mean, so
But
the
I
jury
said-
didn't see it, but now the jury has heard it. I don't think it is really that, much of a crisis because there is going to be this stipulation that Quay is not always either of these defendants. So, nor is it obvious to everybody that free whomever is such a quote about who knows.
This is a trial, Your Honor.
And so it doesn't necessarily indicate that whomever Quay spent time in jail or in custody or in prison or anything. I mean, they say it about, Hollywood stars who are in a breakup. It's not so obviously, oh, this must mean this person was in prison.
I don't like that
Also,
judge.
we were already saying Quay isn't either of these people. So let's just, and whether this was one of these people or I don't even know who it did refer to.
and we don't know because it's not his post. He was reading someone else's
But-
post, so it could be a multitude of quays.
You talked to his attorney earlier, right?
Yes.
And did you get any kind of an indication? I don't know if this
It
was
wasn't
one
an
of the
issue
things you were gonna, but it's an issue now. And you said before lunch that you were gonna ask Mr. Rubin.
Yes, we did ask.
Do you know at this point whether the free Quay reference? This wasn't even his post, was it?
It wasn't, and it wasn't an issue until Ms. Westmoreland. So when I talked to Mr. Rubin at lunchtime, this wasn't something I was going to address with him because it wasn't an issue. I did not realize it was an issue. Mr. Rubin found out for me that Slat Quay is not either of these two quays.
Okay, but this isn't Slack Quay. This is just Quay.
Right.
I know. So why doesn't everybody? Well, they don't know how it's spelled. They only heard it.
You're wrong, Judge.
Enter into some sort of a stipulation that the free Quay or the reference to Quay just now isn't either of these people.
You wrong for that, Judge.
Whether it okay, so okay, that is not a reference to. If you would prefer that. I don't honestly really care what the poster was referencing. What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness. So that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial. Okay, do it now.
It's Judge, you call her work sloppy, but they've been sloppy and intentionally the whole time. And you letting them do it. This don't make no sense, and that's wrong.
Y'all work on that. I'm going to take 5 minutes.
Matthews, before you say we have a stipulation, F, Judge, once you rule on our mistrial,
Right.
on my motion for mistrial.
Okay, so are mistrial are you asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because if you had seen Miss Hilton's face when that
Oh, that's just a joke.
Mrs. Mouth, she was appalled, and I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error.
How can the judge always take up for the prosecutor? Don't you know them women slick? Playing you. Oh, I'm so sick of her. Recuse her.
Into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial.
But listen to this, y'all.
This case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry. Y'all have, this gigantic, ginormous
She running over y'all.
universe of evidence that maybe if you narrowed down, you would not be making these kinds of mistakes. But I believe that to be a mistake.
Your Honor,
So I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
yes.
You would? Who else would? That means, of course, that the state would be free to try every one of y'all again.
Just a moment.
Sure.
Make them reach out, try out again. Yeah, and then they're gonna go and break and stay. She want them to do she not gonna give them a mistrial with prejudice. She want them to do the mistrial and start over. Either way, it all depends on how much time they need to do. So I'll do it over. Because they did a messy job right here. It's messy. Now, why she say they can't do a mistrial with prejudice? Hold on for a minute. Since I'm not with the court, I looked it up for y'all. A mistrial with prejudice means that a trial has been declared a mistrial and the case cannot be retried. Essentially, ended in case permanently in favor of the defendant, while a regular mistrial simply indicates that the current trial is invalid and the case can be retried with a new jury. The jury is not the problem here. Lord have mercy. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out of here.